This is the Fifine AM6, a USB condenser microphone designed specifically for gaming practicality, and I'm so confident in its sound quality that I'm going to be using it for the rest of this video. The AM6 has got a great, crystal clear, and natural sound signature, but unlike other condenser mics, it is actually pretty good at rejecting background noise. For comparison, here's the audio that's being recorded by my phone, and here's the audio recorded by this mic. Now, this mic has got a ton of features that I want to get into, but I also know that you guys really care about the audio test, so I'm actually going to be doing that first. But before I get into that, I just want to give a big thanks to Fifine for sending over this mic for review. Now let's get into the audio test. After their discovery and eventual containment, terminids were cultivated by humanity as livestock. This was due to their bodies containing substantial amounts of precious element 710. After their discovery and eventual containment, terminids were cultivated by humanity as livestock. This was due to their bodies containing substantial amounts of precious element 710. After their discovery and eventual containment, terminids were cultivated by humanity as livestock. This was due to their bodies containing substantial amounts of precious element 710. After their discovery and eventual containment, terminids were cultivated by humanity as livestock. This was due to their bodies containing substantial amounts of precious element 710. After their discovery and eventual containment, terminids were cultivated by humanity as livestock. This was due to their bodies containing substantial amounts of precious element 710. This is the sound of me furiously typing on my keyboard to try to create as much background noise as possible while I am talking. This is the sound of me furiously typing on my keyboard to create as much background noise as I can while I'm talking. This is the sound of me furiously typing on my keyboard to create as much background noise as possible while I am talking. This is the sound of me furiously typing on my keyboard to create as much background noise as I can while I am talking. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Popcorn, popcorn, potato, potato, popcorn. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Popcorn, popcorn, potato, potato, popcorn. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Popcorn, popcorn, potato, potato, popcorn. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Popcorn, popcorn, potato, potato, popcorn. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Popcorn, popcorn, potato, potato, popcorn. This is the sound of me pretty close to the microphone. This is the sound of me about a foot away from the microphone. This is the sound of me about 4 feet away from the microphone. This is the sound of me pretty close to the microphone. This is the sound of me about a foot away from the microphone. This is the sound of me about 4 feet away from the microphone. This is the sound of me pretty close to the microphone. This is the sound of me about a foot away from the microphone. This is the sound of me about 4 feet away from my microphone. Okay, so now that you've heard what this mic sounds like compared to a couple of others, let me know what you think. Do you like it or hate it? And would you rather get this or the Fifine AM8, as they're both similarly priced, but the AM8 is a dynamic microphone. Now, getting into the features of the AM6, let's first talk about the aesthetics. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of the two-tone RGB lighting. I think it gives the AM6 a really nice aesthetic without the RGB being overly obnoxious. The lighting can be controlled with a button on the bottom, which allows you to select between a couple of different patterns, and if you hold the button, that'll allow you to turn the RGB on or off. My second favorite part about this mic is the included pop filter. I think this looks way sleeker than a lot of these circular pop filters that some other mics come with. It's also got a big smiley face on the front to cheer you up when you're losing your games. And if you're still not a fan of the aesthetic, you can take it off pretty easily. One of the first things you'll notice with the AM6 is that the yoke was only attached on one side, and that's done on purpose. That's allowed Fifine to move the volume and mic gain knobs to the side, and that makes it super easy to adjust on the fly and in-game. It's also very easy to mute the AM6. All you gotta do is tap the top and you'll see this LED go red, and that means the microphone's off. Tap it again, it's green, and that means you're live. The headline feature for the AM6 is, of course, this big knob right in the middle, which allows you to change the balance between the game audio and the chat audio. Now, when you plug the Fifine AM6 in, it'll actually show up on your computer as 2 separate audio outputs, one called Fifine Game and one called Fifine Chat. And what this allows you to do is you can connect your Discord or TeamSpeak into Fifine Chat and connect your game or PC main audio into Fifine Game. And that allows you to change the balance between game audio and voice chat audio. So let's say, for example, your whole team is dead and you're trying to clutch up, and let's say your teammates just don't give good callouts. You can just turn it over to the game side, mute out your voice chat and just focus on hearing those footsteps and figure out where the enemy is. On the flip side, if you're dead and just spectating, maybe you just want to chat with your friends. So you tune the game out, turn it over to the chat side, boom, now you're just chilling with your friends. Now, unfortunately, it's not all sunshine and roses with the AM6, and there are a few things that I didn't really like. One of them being that the RGB doesn't turn off when your computer goes to sleep, so I've had to manually turn it off by holding the bottom button. Now, the second thing I didn't like, and this is kind of weird, but it's too light. Like, the actual weight of the microphone, I think, is too light. When I first unboxed this and I took it out, I thought I was holding like a $2 Temu microphone. I mean, this thing was just so lightweight, and that's great if you're mounting it on a monitor arm or you need to move it around a lot on your desk, and it makes sense in terms of practicality. But just for first impressions, honestly, I think it would be better if the microphone was just slightly heavier. Like, maybe Fifine should just add a few weights inside the mic just to make that first impression feel a bit better. But besides those minor details, I've had a blast using this microphone. It's just so practical, it looks great, and most importantly, it sounds great. Honestly, if I hadn't already spent $150 on a dynamic microphone, this probably would be my daily driver. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.